Okay, I gotta apologize right out of the gate. I'm realizing real quickly that there's a lot here, and to do these little makeup videos, I don't really know like what you're looking for. Just to be completely frank, I don't know if you want like a massive 30-minute video of me just going through every exercise in depth. Probably not. I don't think that's what you want. I'm assuming and speculating that that is not what you want. So I'm trying to break these up into little 5-minute increment videos like we do for the normal homework. So I'm tackling the next two exercises. And we're going to try to knock this out in about 5 minutes. So the first one, you're a professional, using that prompt, right? So I went ahead and for the previous one, I said, okay, well, you're a cybersecurity professional, and let's talk about the domain of operating system security. And so it gave me these three questions, in modern operating systems, how do discretionary access control and mandatory access control differ? What problems do ASLR, and how does that interact with data execution prevention? Describe process isolation and how that works with an operating system. And then, so my thinking on this, just to kind of like gauge it, was I'm going to give it like 3 levels of competency, if you will, right? First one, I'm just going to give it nonsense. Second one, I'll try to like halfway describe it and then just give up. And then the third one, I'll do my best to actually like spit some facts. And so here's my answer. I said, well, Mac refers to your Mac address, and if the hackers steal your Mac cheeseburger, well, then you're screwed. And then the second question, too, is like, well, ASLR solves predictability problems associated with memory exploitation, but then I kind of just, like, left it after that. And then the third one, I actually got into process isolation, how it's a dance between software and hardware. You've got, like, the kernel level, you've got user levels and different things like that, and I actually get into it. You can pause the video and look if you really want to. And then it did an overall verdict, and it went through and broke it down, like, the assessment for number 1 is a major gap. The assessment for number 2 is partially correct, but incomplete. Number 3 was pretty strong. I think actually it still dinged me on number 3 when I was looking at it. So it gave me like a strong rating on operating system internals, a decent rating on memory exploitation, and then like a weak rating on security models. Overall, 6.5 out of 10. I failed the class. I need to go back and redo my studies. I'm doomed to failure. But anyways, that was basically that, and I thought that was actually really interesting. And then for exercise number 4, doing the conversation rehearsal bot, I was kind of confused by like what you meant by different communication methods. Yet again, me not being in the class to be able to like actually like talk with you guys and interact, boy, that's absolutely tripping me and stumbling me up. But I'm making my best with it. So I kind of looked at this list down here and I thought that's maybe what you meant. So I went with the verbal judo. I said like, you are an expert using verbal judo method of communication, and then so I had this whole conversation with Gemini. You'll notice also I'm using different the different chatbots. I'm trying to mix them up too, right? I don't just want to adhere to one or the other. And also I'm trying to like, speaking of isolation, right? I'm also trying to like break up the conversations so we don't have a bunch of like convoluted nonsense going on as well. But to a level that is kind of like unavoidable too. I used the prompt, my previous prompt, what was it? Yeah, here, when I was doing Claude and I was doing the you're the critical thinking bot. And then I gave it that whole spiel about me being a fat old man in college competing with 20-year-olds, blah, 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 and the job market's exploding, blah, blah, blah. And so I gave it that prompt all over again. It was like, oh, I see like why you're feeling the weight of the world on you. And I was like, yeah, all these young people, and I got to compete with them. And it definitely, I'm sure you guys are aware there's a joke that a lot of these chatbots are affirmation machines. It very much was just patting me on the back all throughout this conversation, and then I gave it the, that key phrase, well, all right, okay, I'm done talking to you, and then it broke down how, like, the kind of strategies it was utilizing from that, I guess, from the verbal judo, right? The listen component, the empathize component, the ask component, the professional presence, but also not a therapist component. And so we got, like, I went through and read these, and these were actually pretty interesting. But also, I think very much, I don't know, me inserting my own opinion here for a second. I feel like a lot of this, it feels scripted in a way. And I know that that's not right. That's not the right terminology to say. But it feels, and I'm sure anyone who's actually interacted with these bots can, like, agree with this, or like simultaneously describe this as well. It just feels different. It feels uncanny, like an uncanny valley situation. It's almost there. It's like 85% there, but it's 15% not, and it's something about the 15% that's not, like, really sticks out. Like, it feels like it's really artificial, like it's really synthetic, like it's really not organic, there's not genuine. And it's weird. It's a weird feeling you get actually, like, interacting with these machines and experiencing that. And is that intrinsic to just LLM technology? Is that just intrinsic to artificial intelligence as a whole? There's probably some real deep discussions to be had about that for sure. But it is interesting stuff nonetheless.